Viewer discretion is advised.
And so far, 2019 is coming up all Angelrage, so stay tuned.
We have therefore made the assessment that COVID-19 can be characterized as a pandemic.
Ever since the beginning with Angelrage, I was veering into metalcore territory. There really wasn't a word for it back then, but it was all about the contrast between, delicate, beautiful parts and, crushingly heavy, brutal parts. And this lineup is fully capable of realizing that vision that I had, all those years ago. So I'm really looking forward to working with these guys, and so far everything has been great. The band is firing on all cylinders in a way that the original lineup never did, unfortunately.
Gestapo police, you will see when the kicking down your door.
When Angelrage truly became a band is when I got a phone call from my buddy Matt Rutherford. We had played together in Lunatics on Parole, and we had been friends for several years. And he called me up and told me he had left Lunatics on Parole and asked me if I still needed a drummer. And I'll tell you something, man, that was about the closest thing to a miracle in my life.
In a band, you got to click and have a buddy and be brothers to get along. And it worked out pretty well with Gar and I.
He and I were at the rehearsal studio every week, and Matt was crucial to a lot of the parts on Omega.
Played a showcase. We put some demos together. It was a lot of fun. I had a good time doing it. But when it comes down to Angelrage, the vision is really Gar's vision. I love to be a part of that vision, and I'd like to again in the future. It was good times.
The duo reunited in 2017, adding vocalists Nancy Carpenter and Sean Peelan as well as bassist Michael Courtois. Traced announced that the band's next release, Heresy, would be an ambitious multimedia event, with tracks being released one at a time accompanied by music videos and behind-the-scenes documentaries. A short clip of the band rehearsing a previously unheard track, Paragon Meadows, displayed a level of sophistication only hinted at on Omega, with Carpenter's haunting operatic voice contrasted by Peelan's vicious death metal vocals. The group released several brief behind-the-scenes videos as Traced wrote the new album. Also teased was the long-awaited release of the graphic novel Genesis, a violent semi-autobiographical tale introducing the Angelrage superhero character. Traced also filmed a short teaser trailer for a live-action film that was to be accompanied by a soundtrack album.
My name is Nancy. I am from Boston. I met Garland Treese about a year ago on Facebook. It was one of those networking things, you know, and we never really, didn't really talk much, you know how that goes. And
I noticed she had a music page. I didn't really think a lot about it at first. You know, everybody on the internet is a singer or an actor or an Instagram model or a poet or a painter or some fucking thing. The first few that she posted didn't really catch my attention, but she posted a cover of The Rose by Bette Midler. And I thought, okay, let's see what you got. So I checked out her page and I was impressed. I was impressed with the detail she puts into her singing. Her pitch, her enunciation. She doesn't use vibrato as a crutch like a lot of singers do. If it's there, it's well placed and well timed. You know, and that kind of stuff gets my attention. I was impressed with the audacity of her song choices. I was impressed with the range of genres that she covers. You know, so I was a little surprised because she clearly hadn't been at it that long, you know, a couple of years, and you know, since she put herself out there.
one night I was talking to a friend of mine. I had done something with another band, did another project with another band, and I went to a few rehearsals and did one gig, and it didn't work out. So I was kind of bummed about it, you know, and I was, you know, bitching to her, and she's like, you know what, you know, another door will open, you'll see. And lo and behold, in comes Garland Treese, you know, sent me a message on Facebook, and he asked me if I would be interested in singing for Angelrage.
Shortly after I checked out her page, I saw a post that she made that she had parted ways with her band. And I wrote to her immediately and asked her to be in Angelrage. I didn't even ask her to audition, I just asked her to be in the band.
I had heard his music before, and I was very interested. The older stuff is kind of heavy, but the song he sent me, Paragon Meadows, it's amazing. The melodies are just beautiful. The composition of the whole song, the back and forth, you know, with me singing female vocals, it tells a story, and it's an amazing, amazing song. And I think it's going to be a hit. And I am really honored that he asked me to be part of it.
There are a few bands with whom our history is so intertwined that it would be difficult to tell our story without mentioning them. One of those bands is a Pantera tribute from Los Angeles called Domination 101. I first met them when I was working at Sound Arena Studios, and we became friends, a great bunch of guys. If I was to sum up our relationship in one word, it would be fun. Always a good time with those guys. You know, usually involving liquor and fireworks of some sort. Eventually, they asked me to do their website, and I went on to manage them. You know, so very tight relationship with Domination 101 for many years.
I love Gar's work. I was lucky enough to meet him when I was playing bass for the Pantera tribute band, Domination 101, and had many great experiences working with him. He helped design our webpage and did some incredible work. Very creative in everything he does, and I appreciate the ability to be able to continue to work with him. And I think you have some excellent new music to look forward to, so keep watching.
I'm honored and thrilled to have Mike in the band. He's an amazing bass player and a great guy. Both he and his wife, Christine, very nice people, you know, very down to earth. And, you know, when I asked him, I thought he was going to say no. He's a very busy guy, you know. And I was just so surprised and thrilled when he said yes.
You know, Gar and I have been talking about collaborating for quite a while. I've always brought it up, we've always brought it up, but unfortunately it never happened the way we wanted it to, because he was always busy doing his thing. I was always busy doing mine, whether it was From the Vomit or doing my Rest in Peace tribute, or just trying to do something and keep busy, or even just busy with my natural life as well as he. And eventually it just came to be where he hit me up and was like, Sean, let's do this now. Let's quit talking about it and let's do it. And my response was, cheers. I've always wanted to work with Gar. I've always wanted to work with Angelrage. I've always enjoyed what he writes and what he does. I've always respected it thoroughly. And I've always thought I could be at least a semi-valuable asset.
Time
do remember hearing some of it at Gar's place when he lived in North Hollywood. And it was pretty rocking, and I offered up my, I guess you could call them talents.
Sean actually came in and did vocals for 2 songs on Omega. He did vocals for Epiphany and Blood, and he did vocals for Finger of God. The reason that they didn't end up on the finished CD, in retrospect, is kind of silly and maybe a little petty. He would have been the only other musician on the CD, you know, other than myself. And I felt, as did, you know, the people close to me that expressed an opinion about it, that it would be more impressive for me to put out a CD where I had played and sang everything, rather than to have, you know, a guest singer on one part on 2 songs. It would be more of a distraction. But, you know, in retrospect, I just think that's stupid. You know, I don't think it would have really detracted from it. And, you know, there are a lot of artists that do, you know, that have a guest singer on a song or 2. So, you know, I regret that, but situation has been rectified because now he's singing with the band. So, and that should have happened a long time ago. I think that would sound really nice.
And that people can actually see, I can go bam, bam.
Yeah.
Where they know I'm not a 2-track vocalist.
In December of 2014, I got a phone call from my old buddy Mark. And he told me that they were putting together an all-star jam for January of 2015 and asked me if I wanted to be part of it. My first instinct was to say no. I hadn't been on stage in 10 years since the last time I played with Angelrage. So, you know, I wasn't sure I could pull it off. You know, he twisted my arm a little bit. He strongly encouraged me to do it. And eventually I said yeah. So January 17th of 2015, I was back on stage. Mark called me up to the stage. He let me use his full Randall stack and a brand new Dimebag Razorback guitar. Held it in the air with the strap up, so I literally, all I had to do was step into it, put the pick in my hand, patted me on the back and said, "Have fun, brother." And I'll tell you, man, that was one of the nicest things anybody ever did for me. The caliber of talent on that stage was incredible. I mean, literally, you know, members of some of my very favorite bands from LA. And it was just such an honor to be on stage with them. And I'm just so grateful to Mark for putting that together. So here we are, the original singer for Domination 101, Sean Pilon is now singing with Angelrage. The final bass player for Domination 101, Michael Courtois, is now playing bass for Angelrage. And without Mark, the guitar player from Domination 101, getting me back out there on stage, I don't know if I ever would have come back with new Angelrage. I mean, being on stage again really just kind of put the fire in my blood. It was good for me to see that I still had it. I was still a viable rock and roll animal on stage, So, I mean, without that band, the present lineup of Angelrage would not exist.
And it's just been a crazy, crazy ride, this whole thing. And it's just, I've done voiceovers for video games. Just this whole thing has opened so many doors for me. And the biggest door that has opened is my part in Angelrage, my position. And I am just really, really thrilled to be part of something again. And this is just a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. And Garland is a great guy. He's funny. I really can't wait to get going. These songs are amazing. And all I can say is, like Garland says, just let the music speak for itself. And I think this is going to be something really epic. And I hate that word, but yeah, epic.
Ever since the beginning with Angelrage, I always wanted a contrast between a clean singer and a death metal singer. And, I finally have that with Nancy and Sean. This version of Angelrage is going to totally obliterate any memory that anybody has of the original lineup. She's been great. I mean, it's been great to work with her. She's been a tremendous addition to Angelrage, and we're ready to go out and kick some major ass.
It's on.
In March of 2019, lead vocalist Nancy Carpenter flew from Boston, Massachusetts to Los Angeles, California and spent 10 days sightseeing with guitarist Garland Treese. The pair were spotted having an intimate dinner at the Rainbow Bar and Grill and later that evening attended a head PE show at the Whiskey A Go Go. Inexplicably, the other band members made no attempt to meet with her during this time.
Against my skin, the salty spray.
In addition to music, Treese also pursued a career in voice acting, being featured in films including As Above So Below, No Escape, Krampus, Ghostbusters Answer the Call, and along with The God of the Two Worlds, as well as the CW television network's Nancy Drew series in Season 2's The Scourge of the Forgotten Rune. work to finish writing and recording the new album, he received devastating news. Drummer Matt Rutherford, embroiled in an acrimonious divorce and custody battle for his 2 children, was unable to participate in recording and encouraged the guitarist to bring in another drummer for the sessions, with the door open for his future involvement. Trees brought in his old friend and bandmate Dean Goldswag, with whom he had a long and successful history of working together since the 1980s.
This is Garland Triest coming to you from Chateau des Anges, and I just wanted to say thank you guys for checking out our behind the scenes videos. And I really wanted to introduce you to this new lineup. I'm so excited to be working with these guys. It's an amazing band, and we're gonna have some great songs for you to listen to. And so far 2019 is coming up all Angelrage, so stay tuned.
We have therefore made the assessment that COVID-19 can be characterized as a pandemic.
Trees broke his wrist falling backwards down a flight of stairs after learning of the death of one of his closest friends, a devastating blow to the grieving guitarist, who admitted he was terrified not only of the prospect of never playing guitar again, but of having to go to medical facilities for therapy during a pandemic. While not a familiar name to Angelrage fans, drummer Steve Blank was a very important figure behind the scenes, regularly present at rehearsals and offering financial support to facilitate the recording of the Omega album.
Hey guys, just checking in to say hi. Hopefully you're all doing alright out there. I know this is rough on everyone. Hopefully it'll be over soon, so hang in there.
In April of 2020, fresh out of his cast, the guitarist recorded 2 new videos, a guitar tutorial, and a cover of What a Wonderful World for Joey Ramone's Virtual Birthday Bash.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them blue for me and you. And I say to myself, what a wonderful world.
While trying to maintain a positive presence online for his fans, behind the scenes, he was struggling with depression as his life unraveled, and a dark new persona emerged as he battled his demons. In 2020, amid the global lockdown, Trees learned that his niece, Amanda Piatti, had been murdered on July 4th, his birthday. Chicago police, overwhelmed with protests and riots, could offer little help, and her killer, a known gang member, is still at large. But it was the departure of lead singer Nancy Carpenter, a loss he described as insurmountable, and the shocking death of original drummer Matt Rutherford at only 42 years old, that ended Angelrage and led to Trees abandoning social media and disappearing from public view until his death. On July 13, 2020, Trees posted to his official Instagram account for the last time. As friends, family and fans tried in vain to reach him, the elusive guitarist withdrew from public view, living out his last days in total isolation. On the evening of August 13, 2021, his family found him unresponsive at his desk, bringing to a tragic end the long and storied saga of Angelrage.